Okay, so here's the thing that people don't really know about boundaries that I really wish they knew, and this is where boundaries start. This is the foundation of them, and without this foundation, the other boundaries crumble pretty quickly and pretty fast. Hi, my name is Tanya. I run the Light Revolution. I make these videos on the fly when the inspiration hits because we live our spiritual world in our day-to-day activities. It's not contained to meditation or gratitude. We're walking, breathing, talking, living a spiritual world every day. And our consciousness, the way we emotionally process thought, determines how things play out on this planet for us. So when it comes to boundaries, the part that people miss the most is that boundaries start with your own thought. And let me elaborate on that. We hear about the power of the mind and how our thoughts become things and all of this kind of stuff, but it really takes leading a thought or coming up across boundaries with a thought that make all the difference. So, for example, when you're, here's a really good one. My son was talking today about he wanted to buy a pencil case for school, but he also had something he wanted to save for, and he's like, I can't buy the pencil case. And so we're talking about, yes, you can buy the pencil case, but you're choosing not to, right? You're choosing to save for something. He's like, no, I can't, because then I'll ruin the thing I'm saving for. I'm like, right. This is where you want to talk to your brain and say, I can buy this pencil case, but I'm choosing to save for something else. I'm choosing to do something different. This is a little bit of a boundary with your brain. It sounds like directing thought, but this is kind of where our boundaries start, is with ourselves. This is where they weaken the first place, when it's like, when we let our brain be like, oh yeah, well, I kind of deserve that. I worked really, really hard. I just really want it. That's where our boundaries start, where it's like, no, this is what I'm doing. That's where we lead our own brains, because our brains are really good at being like, oh yeah, you do deserve this. And there's kind of two paths here where people will tend to fight it, or they'll tend to give in. They'll be like, no, I'm doing this, blah, 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 blah. But every time you fight your own brain, it actually gets stronger, and it starts to dig in a little bit more. And so instead of fighting your brain, you want to start neutralizing it by talking to it in a way that you would a stubborn toddler. Because I'm really not super convinced that our brains get that far past toddlerhood a lot of the time. I know when our prefrontal cortex comes online, they do, but a lot of the time it's kind of like trying to work you a little bit, like to see what it can get away with. But your brain would be like, oh yeah, dude, you totally deserve this. You should go for it. And it's like, yeah, you know what, brain, I really do deserve that. And I'm going to go this way. Yeah, I really, really would like to stay in bed instead of dragging my butt up and going to swim club, because my bed is so comfy. And I can just lie here and I can just do this process to like imagine my life, which this is what I do a lot. And then I just accidentally fall back asleep. So I know it's like, oh, brain, yeah, but when I do get up, I really love swim club. I'm always happy when I go to swim club. I always feel so, so good when I do it. And so this is a boundary with a brain. And you start there first. Don't expect other people to listen to your own boundaries when you can't. And that's kind of one of those things that other people are reflecting to you. Not excusing their behavior, not saying that people should do that with your boundaries, but you want to start there first. That's your first point of practice, is with your own brain and your own boundaries. Because when you strengthen it there, you strengthen it in other places too, right? That's when it gets easy to talk to other people about it. Boundaries, man, they are a big one. They are a really, really big one. Another one, there are some energetic processes that I like to take people through too. Light processes that really strengthen your energetic boundaries, so you're not pulling as many people in, and it's a way to clear your own energy, but that's a whole different thing, and we go over that in the Masters of the Universe membership. But that was one of the most surprising things to me, was when I started working with my own light body and my own light energy, on how much easier boundaries were to uphold, not just with my own brain, but with the world around me, and how I could more fully come into my body and focus my mind when I had these energetic boundaries up. That was really cool and really surprising. But man, that brain gives you a good workout. And I swear it, the more you fight that thing, the more it's like, yeah, man, I'm just getting stronger. Thank you for fighting me. So try it out today. See where your brain goes. One of my brain's favorite thing is be like, after eating, it's like, hey, we should eat something. Like, I want something kind of sugary, right? Like, that's one of my brain's favorite places to go. It's like, oh no, dude, I don't do that. All right, like, I'm an athlete, I don't do that. And it's like, oh, right. Oh, okay, wait. Then I want what? Like, it kind of throws it for a little bit of a loop. So pay attention. Pay attention today. After you watch this video, pay attention to your brain and see, because it always wants to be right. This is a reason why I never call myself a kind person, even though I consider myself to be, even though I genuinely care about other people, and even though I want to see everybody do their best, I do not consider myself a kind person, because if I consider myself a kind person, then my brain has to prove that right all the time, and I can't reflect on the other things in my life. It has to prove that right. So it's always trying to prove stuff right. So when you give it boundaries, when you give it guidelines, when you give it things to do, that's when it works in harmony with you. That's when you start to see you can come into your body more and you escape other patterns better, is with this stuff. So give it a try. You're also invited to join the September the Rescripted Soul. We're going to rewrite stories. We're going to rewire your brain. We're going to reawaken magic. And you're also invited to the Masters of the Universe group. That's going to be pretty badass. Can't wait to see you there. And I'll see you in the next On the Fly video. Thanks for watching.